up, guys? So we've owned the Bronco almost 2 weeks and we put 321 miles on. Now this is my wife's car and she's ecstatic about it. So I'm going to let her do some of the review because we are going to start modding this car pretty soon. So we figured we would get a review of it while it's still in stock form. Now we did get the outer bags with the leather interior, the bigger touchscreen, dual climate control, heated seats and steering wheel. So I'm going to let my wife tell you her experience so far.
So far I love it. It's super comfortable, super easy to drive. I like the fact that it still does everything that my van did besides minus the TV for my kids.
So we replaced our 2016 Toyota Sienna with the Bronco.
Yeah, so typically I have certain things that I like in a car. I like leather seats, I like heated seats, I like a sunroof, and that was something, all of those things were things we could get with the Outer Banks Bronco. When everything was happening with our other videos, if you haven't seen those, make sure you check them out. We weren't sure we were going to end up with this because of everything that was happening. And we test drove a Jeep Wrangler as well, the Gladiator version as well as the regular version. And those were some of those things were just things you didn't get. You didn't get the power seats. You didn't get I don't even know what else.
Automatic 4x4 controls.
Yeah, so we ended up, and this was the one that I wanted, so we did our best and we were able to negotiate where we were comfortable and ended up bringing it home. And so far I absolutely love it. It's easy to drive, and I noticed the difference between the Wrangler and the Bronco right away with that as well. The Wrangler was a much rougher ride. Now the Bronco for sure is a rougher ride than the minivan, but it's nothing that I thought was a deal breaker. We do get some rattling with the car seats whenever the kids aren't in here, but we for sure have room for the kids, which I think is great. I know that on some of the Bronco forums, that's a big question that's being asked is, can this be a family car? And 100%, this is a total family car. The kids enjoy it. They think it's fun with the windows down, think it's fun with the top down. And I already have my soccer mom sticker on the side of it, which my husband hates. But hey, that's who I am. I'm a soccer mom, I'm a gymnastics mom, and this gets our kids to and from practice with a lot more fun than what the minivan did. So it'll be interesting to see on vacation how this goes, because in the minivan we had the TV. We don't have that. But for sure the interior room is great. It rides great. It's fun. I drop the kids off at practice and I get to go drive around, and I'm not a car person. Never have been a car person, and this is the first car I get in. And I actually don't want to go home. I try to think of excuses to drive it around and enjoy it. And enjoying it is for sure what I've been doing so far.
So yeah, I'm thrilled that she's now a car person, which if you follow the channel and all, I've had every car I get is pretty much a cool car or a truck, and she hasn't really paid attention to any of them, and this is the first time that she's actually excited. So we're planning on doing tons of modifications to this vehicle, and she actually wants to learn how to help do the modifications, so I'm pretty excited about that. Even as far as mounting and balancing tires and suspension work, she wants to be fairly hands-on with those things, so thrilled about that. So we're gonna take a quick ride on it. Maybe we'll do a POV. Of course, I'm gonna put it up in the air, which I haven't done myself yet, so I'm excited to see what the undercarriage looks like on the Bronco up close. So we're gonna get it in the shop, get it up in the air, but like she said, it's sort of a smooth ride. It's definitely roomier cabin than the Wrangler, sure. Which we definitely needed. We definitely wanted to be bigger than smaller, just like the shoulder room and even the footwells, substantially more room than the Wrangler. So all in all, so far pretty happy about this. We did order originally with the hard top, but with all the manufacturing problems Ford's having, we switched it to the soft top so we could be one of the first people to have the Bronco to show it off. So we will get a hard top when they start making them properly. We can get our hands on one, because we live in snow belt, so we want as much insulation and noise reduction as possible. So we're definitely going to do a hard top here in the future.
Okay, so we're going to take a walk around the Bronco, look at some features that this particular model has. So we'll start off with the color. This is the cactus gray color. I went back and forth a few times. Typically for me in cars, I only get a black car or a white car. But I was really drawn to this color, and it's actually kind of funny because our house is the same color. So little did I know, I ordered my car to match the house. So cactus gray color. We have the Outer Banks version, and that comes with the gloss black grille. We have the white lettering. There's the 360 camera, and this is right there on the front. We have the park aid sensors. We have the upgraded LED headlights and fog lights, and we have 2 tow hooks, 1 on each side, along with the trail spotters up front. Okay, so moving to the side with just the Outer Banks trim level. They come with the painted fender flares. We have 18-inch wheels. We have painted mirror caps with the 360 camera, and there's blind spot monitoring in each of the mirrors as well. We have painted handles that have intelligent access, and we have the running boards. Now, one other thing that I really like about the Bronco is that each trim level comes with its own badge. So you'll see different ones on each different one. Now, I'm probably going to play with this a little bit, maybe move it, maybe find some other badges to put on it, but I think it'll be fun. All right, so moving around to the back, we have the upgraded LED taillights. We have the painted handle, just like the whole way around the car. We have the park aid sensors. We have a tow hook. We have a full-size spare, and we did opt to get the trailer tow package, which can tow up to 3,500 pounds. All right, so we're gonna just take a real quick glance at the interior. We'll get into more detail on the interior in a little bit. So we did end up going with the 2-tone leather with navy, pear, and gray. There's dual powered seats and heated seats, and there is lumbar support on both sides, which I was really excited about. We have the 12-inch screen. And the other thing that has, which I really like, is the cordless charging station. So you can just plop your cell phone in there and it charges it while you go. All of the window controls are in the middle, as well as the mirror controls. There are also 3 different grab bars in the front of the car. And one of my favorites as well is the leather wrapped heated steering wheel. All right, so there's been some chatter on the forums on whether or not this is a family car. For me, it is. People are saying there's not enough room in the back seat for car seats. Clearly, we have 2 car seats in the back, and there's plenty of room. My kids have not complained once about the space that's back here. So in the middle, if you did end up getting the leather package, you do get the fold down cup holders. This does not come with any of the cloth level trim packages. You have pockets in the back. You have charging ports down here for a typical plug, as well as the USB ports. The windows also, the controls are in the middle. And then on each door, you have a netted pocket for more storage as well. So one of the things that is neat about this car, when you open up the rear cargo door, there are multiple stop points to it. So if I need to get in there real quick, it can stop in this position. It can stop in this position, and if need be, you can open it until it almost folds against the car. So one of the things that whenever we first looked at this, I was like, how do you get stuff in the back of it? Because this is solid. This doesn't flip up, just the back portion like a hardtop would. But there's 2 little levers inside, and it folds up. And then there's a handy little stand that you place right there in the side, and it holds it up for you. So in the back, there is a little bit of storage area. You pull this little tab, it folds up. You can fit anything small in there. Some people have been putting some of their off-roading tools or their tow belts in there. I put my first aid kit for now. And then you can see in the back, you can fold the back seats down to increase the cargo space. But to be quite honest, it's not that small to begin with. So there's some pretty cool graphics that go on the screens. My kids actually look at this and think that it reminds them of Frozen and the troll rocks that roll through on that scene. They're like, oh my gosh, that's a huge TV. Little did they know, no more TV in the Bronco. So whenever you turn the car on, So we have a nice bright cluster. We have an analog speedometer. We have a ton of buttons on the steering wheel, and you can flip through, and there's a bunch of different things that you can do. There's even a calm screen where it takes away anything on the right, and there is a calm screen for the main screen in the car as well that turns it off if you are just looking to hit the road. You can go through the different GOAT modes that are on here, and it's kind of neat whenever you switch them through. There's normal, eco, sport, slippery, mud and ruts, and sand. And those you just flip around on the outside. And then you have the automatic two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and then you can hit the 4A for automatic switching back and forth.
Alright, I'm going to take over talking about the interior while my wife's driving. We did get the upgraded 12-inch touchscreen with navigation. We also opted for the B&O audio system. It sounds pretty awesome even with the top down. So down here we have the dual heated seats, dual climate controls, and the heated steering wheel, which my wife really wanted. We have the wireless charging here, 2 cup holders, and like she said, the window and mirror switches are on the center console instead of the door to make them easier to remove. We do have a power port up here. There is a little spot to add accessories to mount cameras and things. Then you can charge them right off that power port. And then we also have a charging port down there as well. I do really like the shifter on the Bronco. It has a nice little Bronco emblem on there, and it's nice and bulky and grippy. So I like that. And these grab handles, like she mentioned, they're really nice. They're not just like a hard plastic. They're textured and have a rubber grip. So all in all, they did a really nice job on the interior. And then we have a couple more switches up here for the differential lock, traction control, and hazard lights. If we would have gotten Badlands, it would have had one more switch for the front sway bar disconnect, and it would also have upfitter switches up here, so when you add your accessories, you can use those switches. But this has the map lights up here and also the sunglass holder, and we also have home link. Alright, so I had it in eco mode, and I was on the highway. I had the cruise set at 61 miles an hour, and we did get up to 22 miles per gallon. That's the best we've seen so far. We went 361 miles on this tank of gas. We're 3 miles to empty, so we'll see how much it costs to fill it up. Alright, at $3.02 a gallon, it took 21 gallons, $63.98 to fill it up. Now we have the car in the shop. You can get a look at what the halos look like around the headlights and the LED tail lights. And here's a look of the headlights and fog lights on. This Bronco is equipped with a 2.7 liter twin turbo V6 EcoBoost engine. Puts out 330 horsepower and 415 foot-pounds of torque when running premium fuel. Bronco is also available with a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder turbo EcoBoost engine. It puts out 300 horsepower. You can get it backed with either a 10-speed automatic, which this one is, or a 7-speed manual. 7-speed manual is only available with the 4-cylinder engine. All right, we got the Outer Banks up on the rack. I'm pretty excited. This is the first time I've ever seen one up in the air. We got a plastic skid plate on this one. I think the Badlands and some other ones have a metal skid plate. Come over here and take a look at the suspension. This one is equipped with an 18-inch wheel and tire package, 255/70/18 Bridgestone Dueler AT. Nice styled 18-inch wheel. We got a dual piston front brake caliper up here. And what's nice is these front and rear crash bars are removable. So if you're in an accident or you bend one, they just unbolt. Or if you put a bigger tire and wheel package on there, you could potentially remove them because they will hit. Better look at the running boards. Here's a look at the rear suspension. Single piston rear caliper out back. There's a look at the park aid sensors there. Better look at the trailer hitch. This does have both style trailer connectors. You can see one of the biggest things that differentiates the Bronco from the Wrangler is the independent front suspension. It's a nice large aluminum control arm. It's got adjustable toe and camber. Here's a look at the back side of that brake caliper. Come across the front here. So there's the oil pan there. It is composite and it does have the toolless oil drain plug. Looks like you're going to have to take this plastic shield off to get to that. Here's the front differential and the front drive shaft. Front sway bar. Some of the off-road models do have a front sway bar disconnect. This one does not. As we make our way back here, you see the transmission pan is also composite. Two-piece drive shaft here. It's got a flex joint there in the middle. Back to the solid rear axle. Nice big bars back here. Pretty beefy suspension on this one. Alright, as we make our way from the back to the front, we got a single muffler here with a real big pipe coming out. No tip, kind of an unfinished look there. It's a rear differential housing. The rear brakes do have an electronic park brake. We'll make our way back up here. You can see the rest of the exhaust system and the transfer case. Drain plug's easily accessible on there. You can see the catalytic converters. And you can see the turbo a little bit on this side. Back out to the front of the vehicle.
So that's it for the review for the 2021 Bronco Outer Banks trim level. We have only owned this a couple weeks, and so far I'm absolutely thrilled with it. I'm excited to start making a few changes and a few mods to it that actually I'm going to attempt to do. But thanks so much for stopping by the channel, watching the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll see you next time.